Hello and welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail Expedition with me, BringItDon. So off camera, I actually crafted my Strider boots finally. Someone had told me about these a while back, recommending them for my build, and I agree they are much better for my build than the Ninja Tabby were. So in order to make these, I had to infuse cave hopper leather, so I took the super steel I had gotten previously and turned it into fibers and then infused it. It's one of the recipes, if you know. Most people that are watching this are familiar with that, but yeah, infused leather right here. And then I just made boots out of that, and I used the soft foam padding instead of the dense because that gives me a +1 to my agility. If I used the dense, I would have also had like a 3 or 4 armor penalty, but I would have also had 6% mechanical resist instead. But anyway, it reduces the cooldown of my sprint ability by 3 turns, which is very, very good. Movement points are also naturally increased by 30 when not in stealth, and movement speed increased by 31% while not in stealth. So Ninja Tabby are for stealth, these are for me, because I don't stealth. Anyway, we're going to start exploring. I'm going to head up this way and actually clear out all of these because we don't need this crap on the map anymore. Make it nice and pretty. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start exploring the native territory. I know it says our next destination is the Abyssal Station. Here, hell. Pirate stuff is no longer there, they're all dead. But I've been there already and there was nothing I could have done there previously. I don't think that's changed. So I'm going to do some exploring first before we head that way, because I'm pretty sure there's something else we still need before we go there. But what it is, I don't know. So I'm going to head up here. I want to avoid the leper serpent, so up twice and then diagonal. We'll do some exploring and then, yeah, probably kill all the natives, because I'm sure they're protecting some sort of oddities. I'm still very nervous about going back to the Fetid Marsh, because I hate that place. Oh, I didn't mean to diagonal there. Oopsies. But that's okay. Okay, heat grenade. I think he can get me back here. So I'll throw it to this side. Yeah, he can. What if I go all the way back here? Nope, can't see me. So we just hang out, wait for my grenades to come off cooldown. So I don't see a way to land currently. Need another grenade. Back out of range. Alright, yeah, this'll work. I don't know what to do about that guy, though. Let's try some of these weaker HE grenades. So he does a lot of damage to the jet ski itself. Oh yeah, it's much more effective. Okay. And it looks like he's probably the last enemy we have to deal with here as well, which is nice. I don't have infinite grenades, so hopefully this doesn't have to fight all the natives. Ready to land up here? Nope, okay. How about over here? doesn't seem to be the case. Think of this waterfall? No, I can see the rock wall through it. Alright, where are we heading? Black Sea Rapids. Black Sea Grotto. A secluded grotto. Some rubble. It's like a hermit crab, potentially. I see signs of a native inhabitation, so. Yep, definitely signs of a native living here. It looks like there's a cave entrance right here. In that case, alright. That seems appropriate. Alright, let's head inside and get ready for a fight. Hello? Anybody home? Anybody want a piece of this? It's a very clean looking cave. Yngwar. Alright. Let's see what this is all about. Yngwar, what's up, man? Aether Baron. The man swiftly grabs a spear and assumes a fighting stance. Address him in a calming voice. It's okay. I do not want to harm you. Your peaceful actions do not seem to have the desired effect. He advances forward, skillfully maintaining his stance and keeping himself well behind the deadly tip of his spear, which is now, in turn, getting dangerously close to your own body. Ooh, melee's new. Engage in a spear duel. I wonder if that's unique because I have a spear. It says melee, it doesn't say spear though, so maybe it's just anybody who has high enough melee. Yeah, let's engage in a spear duel. You sidestep to the right and lunge aggressively, attempting to impale him from that side. He catches your spear with an upward swing and deflects it further to the right, leaving you open. You dodge the attack by a hair and seize the opportunity to grasp his spear and pull it further through. He follows your pull only to kick you in the stomach. Falling backwards, you release his spear, but manage to slap the top of his head with your own weapon, striking with the part of the shaft just below the tip. This bloodless exchange lasts for several minutes, and it becomes evident that you're equally matched. You feel like your heart is about to give up, that your lungs are going to burst, but judging by your opponent's appearance, he is in no better condition. You both stare at each other motionlessly. As the atmosphere begins to cool down, you notice a pleasant smell of crab meat being cooked over a steady, calm fire. The sight of it glimmering so succulently is as inviting as the host wasn't during the first moments of your encounter. But even that seems to be changing. The man slowly crouches next to the fire, places his spear at his feet, and checks the tender meat. He is still quite cautious of you, but seems at ease enough that you may attempt to approach him. Pat your chest, BringItDon, then point your finger at him. He observes you with an expressionless countenance. Pat your chest again, BringItDon me, point at him. You? He hesitates, but then places his hand on his chest and imitates your gesture. Yngwar. Yngwar. BringItDon. He returns to his work, producing a few skewers made of bone from the leather sack next to him. He seems focused on food preparation, but he's indubitably aware of everything you do. He removes the cooked meat from the fire and replaces it with fresh skewers. Approach him and stand by the fire with him. He shows no objection to you approaching him. Observe him. Now that you don't have to worry about him driving his spear between your eyes, you can use the aforementioned to observe him at leisure. For instance, only now do you notice that his left forearm and hand are larger and of less regular shape than his right. The fingers are thicker and somewhat crooked at the joints. making them less dexterous when doing fine, precise work, such as putting meat on or turning the skewers. And the scales on that arm almost form a sturdy reptilian gauntlet. Almost, as there are a few patches of exposed purple-red flesh. There are many other details you notice. The tattoo on his chest, the same one you keep seeing around. The numerous bony piercings, the quality leather belt and backpack strap. The loincloth made of a material much finer and oddly more elegant than the simple furry greaves he's wearing. As you finish examining him, so does he finish examining you. I'm gonna use my last Hypercerebrix, because I think that might help me understand his language, right? He is silent. Ferryman. You can tell he recognizes the name, but he shakes his head still. Shorzir? Ferryman told me about him. Shorzir. Poor Grant ont Grot Kriegsfar bit. And then he falls silent. Ferryman kill. Alright, let's inquire about something else. He is silent. Point at him. Yngwar. He is silent. Pat your chest. BringItDon brave. Look brave as best as you can. BringItDon smart. Point to your head and hope he gets it. BringItDon adventurer. Use 2 fingers to imitate a person's legs. A moment passes. BringItDon. Aetbaron der Aetbaron. So he's saying I am an Aetbaron. Yngwar is Stormerbaron, which is him. Yngwar Scareder, which is the spear guy. The Stormerbaron are his people. Yngwar Trekker. He mimics your walking fingers. He picks up his knife, a blade made of bone and painted with blood, and approaches the sand. He starts by drawing waves, then ground above it. Tents soon emerge. People and livestock follow. He draws a doming cavern above it all, and places himself to the left, where the dome meets the water, far away from his tribe. He rests the knife's point on the drawn version of himself and says, Yngwar. Yngwar. He pats his chest. BringItDon. He points to you, then the sand. Draw railroad tracks and empty roads. You use your finger to draw a network of interweaving roads and railways. You draw gangs, dogs, and rat hounds. The last 2 with little difference, inhabiting these, and then you add moving trains and broken down quad bikes. He observes your drawing with curiosity, then points at the railway. Bane, Trekkergar Jomd Mit Bane. He picks up a few bones and places them parallel to one another, just like rail ties. He finds this interesting. Bane Trekkergar, so some sort of travel something? He looks at the drawing some more, then turns around to check his crab meat. Point at his drawing of himself. Why Yngwar here? You can see it in his eyes that he understands, but he still shakes his head. Nika. Imitate shooing away. Yngwar thrown out. He spits on the ground and waves you away, following it with some unintelligible cursing. Trekken Organ. Alright, what? He grabs a spear. Alright, I get it, leave. Alright, we're not done yet, buddy. BringItDon der Wilferen Hordicht. He points to the exit. Offer him some food. I have some food here. Food. Here. Tasty. He glances at the food but remains silent. Let him inspect the food and see if he likes anything. He approaches and uses his nose to guide him. After a few moments, he points out the food that satisfies his olfactory evaluation. Give him an eel sandwich. He takes the food and places it in a sack, nodding once afterwards after a short pause. He sits by the fire, staring in your direction. Point at his arm, or more specifically its scaly skin. He moves his fingers over his rough scales. Sommerhood. He then touches his human skin. Baronhood. Okay, so Baron is in bear. Touch your skin. Baronhood? Yaka of Baronhood. Intelligence. Bring your arm next to his and point out the difference. Then point to his arm and make a talking mouth with your hand. He stares at you. point at his scales again. He grabs his bone knife and begins drawing in the sand. This, in combination with his gesturing and an occasional sentence, forms a narrative you try your best to follow. Observe and listen. His tale begins with the difference between the two skins. One you are both with, the other you earn. Not everyone can earn it, no, as not everyone is strong enough. Not everyone has been destined to achieve transcendence. Abyssal transcendence, it seems. For he looks down and points his hands to the ground, his palms being fully open. Skerdin, Forskar Flotsomir, Forskar Pom. Men who relay Flatsormir's messages organize some kind of ritualistic drinking of a potion of serpent essence. It drops men to the ground and makes them convulse like serpents in pain. It burns from below and outside, but later they feel that very serpentine essence imbuing them. Weaklings die. The strong will begin or continue their transformation. Then he speaks of further rituals. They all begin with the consumption of these potions, but each one is followed by new challenges. Then he abruptly stops. Imitate drinking a potion, then point to his scales. Rituals. Tell me about the rituals. He pauses, observing you intently. Have I, Grace Eek Verta? I've never seen double A's with accent marks like that. Alt Kron et tu Durg? Bow your head. Please, Yngwar, tell me. Gesture speaking with your hand. He observes you with disdain. He spits on the ground and waves you away, following with some unintelligible cursing. Alright, so he's gonna ask me to leave again. Offer him some more food. Alright, I'm a mighty warrior. Pat your chest. Durg Eitbaron Bit, Durg Materin Ferg Korkor Nikt. I guess I don't really have to. I don't know how to say any of this. Like, I don't know why I'm trying. I guess it's fun. Anyway, he makes a lengthy pause, his eyes darting between you and the skewers. Ritol Sormirvog. Observe and listen. He gestures drinking and shows the pain coming from below and outside. Then it subsides, and he feels much closer to the great serpents, like he's becoming one. The first ritual he describes is swimming deep, deep down, as far as possible. But the way the swimming is performed is different. His legs are tied together, his hands as well, so what he's doing is basically wriggling through the water. Sormir Lemon. He seems frustrated, but you cannot figure out why. He clenches his hand into a fist and describes certain people about whose purpose you aren't exactly sure. So I'm wondering if you had enough intelligence if you could actually understand what he's saying. He drinks an imaginary potion again, and this is where you begin to lose him. The ritual involves deep waters and great serpents, and ends in one's or more than one's death. But something is not right, and his sense of triumph, possibly because he is their slayer, soon diminishes. Ik Forskar Flotsomir Yngwar Forskar Flotsomir Met Ader Sormirbaron Forskar Flotsomir Nikt Det Klogar Olts Yngwar. Alright, Sormirbaron? Ik Sormirbaron. He looks and begins pointing at the elements of the village he had drawn. The tents, the people, the livestock. Then your attention falls on one larger stick figure, their leader, chieftain, Magnar. He is a mighty warrior, born of the serpent, but is not becoming one. His strength and cunning are unmatched by any other Sormirbaron warrior, and for that he has earned the blade and shield of his weapons that hold his essence. Tell me more about Sormirbaron. He'll point to the livestock in his drawing. Bison? He moos. Mo? Yes, bison. He grabs his knife and begins drawing a herd of furry beasts. Observe. Even though the drawing is fairly crude and low in detail, you notice that he draws each bison, the males, females, and the young, as distinct individual creatures. Some have larger horns, some are taller, and some he even draws with a unique fur pattern. From his expression and motions, it appears that he values these creatures greatly. The bison have been given to them from below, it seems, to butcher and consume, use their fur for clothing and tents, tendons for crossbows, and stomachs for holding liquid, bones for everything else. The most beautiful and strongest bison are sacrificed to the serpents of Flotsomir, thrown into the water to be devoured. Sometimes they are thrown even to men who are becoming serpents, so they can tear it apart with their teeth alone. They reproduce quickly, growing to full adulthood in a few years. They are plentiful. Their death is invaluable and irreplaceable. Alright, what happens if Magnar dies? Gesture neck slashing. Okay, so he doesn't want to talk about that. I don't have any more food to give him. Huh. Alright, I want to load. We're going to blow through some of this dialogue again real quick. I don't want to, so I'm intrigued. But what he has to say. Alright, body warrior. What did the ritual? Summer Baron, we already did that. Livestock on his drawing. Alright, tell me more about the Summer Baron. Gesture him to go on. He looks at the drawing and ponders for a few moments. However, he seems unwilling to proceed. Neek. Perhaps you need to gain his trust a bit more. Okay, Flotsumir. Forskar Flotsumir. He looks down and begins drawing in the sand. You want to make out a giant serpent lurking in the abyssal depths of the Black Sea. He is powerful and strong, and all the serpents are his minions and are blessed with a fraction of his strength. He sends them from the depths to feast on the weak and to test this Summer Baron. You struggle to understand what comes after. He notices that and stops speaking. Point at the dead Psy Crab. Kratstent? He points to the sand and starts reenacting their fight, while you keenly observe and try to understand what happened. Observe. He had been sleeping when he heard something. Two bent horns were slowly emerging from the sand, sparks popping in and out of existence between them. Yngwar leapt just in time to dodge the first bolt of electricity, grabbing his spear along the way. He threw it, and the spear passed by the second bolt, going in the opposite direction. Both projectiles hit their target, but only one was lethal. It took him a moment to recover from the hit, after which he pulled out his knife and used it to make sure the crab doesn't rise again. Draw the pirate base on the sand. 8th Baron Maskin Raider? He follows it up with some cursing while you focus on trying to understand what he means. Observe and listen. Your question seems to have evoked strong emotions in him. He frowns and blinks a few times. Then he decapitates all the little jetters with his knife, but all you're able to gather is that he doesn't think too highly of them. His exact reasons elude you, however. Draw stick figures with blobs on their bodies in the sand. Muties. What do you know about them? He points to the stick figures and spits on them. Slultabaran her Dranot bit. He then starts drawing and gesturing. Observe and listen. The weaklings worship another, but another is weak. Instead of giving them strength like Flotsumir gave to the Summer Baron, another gave them weakness. Instead of giving them wisdom, he made them dumber than crabs. Instead of giving them perception, he made them senseless. McGarren. Erase the stick muties as if pushing them away. Why don't you drive them away? Drive away. Other place. The Serpentborn could slay them at any time, but those who relay Flotsumir's messages say his will is to stay away. They should be left to their great suffering as punishment for their weakness. Alright, let's quick save before we talk about some of this more sensitive subject matter. Forskar Flotsumir BringItDon. Forskar Flotsumir. He shows no emotion. Did I ask this? Why Yngwar here? Leave it be. Let's see. Yeah, let's talk about the expedition camp. Draw the expedition camp in the sand and point at it. What do you know about this? He stares at the drawing but does not appear to recognize anything in it. He does point to the lighthouse, muttering a few unintelligible words to himself before turning to take a look at his crab meat. Point again. Kroko. Ik hojek tren olts terteneg nikt. Point yet again. Alright, let's just go ahead and load this. But it seems like you have infinite tries so long as you have an eel sandwich on your person. So he doesn't want to talk about this. Let's try the ferryman again. You can tell he recognizes the name, but he shakes his head still. Let's see. Yngwar met ferryman before. Gesture two finger people shaking each other's hands. Alright, he does not want to talk about the ferryman. Let's see. He's the old guy on a boat. Boatin'. Gesture a sailing boat. Okay. I'm gonna keep... I don't want to waste eel sandwiches. Sorcerer, poor Grant, ont Grot, Kriegsvar, bit. Then he falls silent. Ferryman killed him. Gesture a big guy falling down. Okay, he doesn't want to talk about the ferryman. There was something else that I needed his trust about, right? I'll tell you more about the Stormer Baron. Just for him to go on. Alright, I need to gain more trust. I don't know how I gain more trust with him. I think I'm out of options. Well, that sucks. I feel like I didn't get anything out of him. Why can I talk to him about Sorcerer? I've already talked about all that. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something. But it might be because I don't have enough intelligence to understand. It sucks I can't talk about the ferryman, because I'm curious what the sorcerer thing has to do with anything. Well, so be it, I guess. I know where he's at. I guess I could mark. I don't need to mark it. I know where he's at. I'm gonna mark it anyway. So I wonder what happens if I kill his entire tribe and then come and talk to him, how he's going to react. But it seems like he's an outcast, because that picture he drew where he was on like the edge of the water, I think that indicates that he is an outcast, but for what, I don't know. Because I can't talk to him. Alright, I'm going to keep that other save in mind. I also want to see if there's somewhere to land here that doesn't require me to... Oh boy. This looks like it might be their main camp. Well, based off that giant tent. So it might be worth going diagonal here. Ugh, don't feel like dealing with this guy. But he feels like dealing with me, so... That's right, he gets 4 attacks for whatever reason. Well, this is fun. Good news is I do kill them in 1 hit, so... Oh, sweet. I realized I didn't have all of that. Alright, we'll explore this area and then we'll call it an episode. Alright, not a lot to see here. That's fine. Alright, let's do this southern area real fast. I don't think it'll take long. Probably shouldn't be any land masses here to explore anyway. Oh, I was wrong. Have we been here before? Looks like we've been here before. Oh, there's so much people here. Okay, that's fine. Let's turn this on. Maybe I should save this for the next episode. Yeah, this is gonna take us a little while to get through. Let's let him go. I'm just gonna pop back out and then we'll take care of this in the next one. Because it's gonna take a little while to fight through that. But yeah, that's what we'll do next time. We'll clear out that just so I don't forget. I don't think I'll forget, but you never know. Yeah, okay, we made very little progress because I didn't get anything from Yngwar. Well, anyway, calling it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.